Starting. Hangout on Air is live again for the second time tonight. All right, so it's James and Jason. We're waiting on Ryan to jump on here. Maybe it's his turn for some technical difficulties. My bad. That's my fault. I had some errands to do, and I set up the technical side of it to go, and then my laptop died. So everything was set up and should have worked fine. And, of course, you know what happens with best laid plans. What the hell is that thing? It sounds like a giant, weed whacker. I don't know. It's like a truck in this. It must be cleaning. It's loud as hell.
It's a drone.
Yeah, it is a drone. So I don't know where you guys left off, but Jason and I were just talking. He's in the process of buying his tickets for Crucible convention.
Right now.
Literally.
And by the way, there's a spot for discount code, and I'm very disappointed. You know, Crucible people, why didn't you tell us about discount codes? Are there discount codes?
I don't even know about the discount codes.
I'm buying the tickets without the discount code.
There you go. That's living life dangerously.
It is.
So obviously Chaos Cup. Oh my God, go away. Oh, he's fumigating. That's what it is. Oh my God. Chaos Cup is this weekend. Everybody's very excited. They just announced all the people who are going to be attending.
Yes, so tell us about your prep.
My prep is sad. Oh my God. I don't think I'm going to survive this pesticide. He's literally in the Starbucks parking lot just driving around blowing this shit around. I guess this is a Florida thing. So I'm going to be playing Amazons for Chaos Cup because the last time I played Amazons for an NAF event was terrible. It was a joke. It was the Liam's event, the first one. What was it? Why can't I think of what it's called? My brain shuts down late at night. The Twickenheim, the sevens.
Okay.
I love those dice. I love that poster. I love that event. But man, I had a piss poor day running Amazons, and I got my ass handed to me all day. So I thought I'll probably get my ass handed to me all day again. But at least I'm gonna try and bring up my standings. So now that I've gotten the 26 done, now I'm gonna start playing teams and bringing all my ratings up above 150. So that'll be challenging in and of itself.
With halflings, it probably will be.
Yeah, so the pledge, speaking of halflings, the pledge manager for the Two Drunk Flings Kickstarter that they did is I think it's closing Sunday, which means from the last, Jesus H. Christ, from the last update that I saw from those guys, my fellow podcast mates, they have everything except for two things. So if anybody backed that campaign, that'll be shipping pretty soon. But Liam offered to paint my team for me, which means I won't see mine until sometime into early 2019. So when I get that team, that's officially when my year of fling is going to start. So I may be able to sneak one or two more tournaments in early 2019 before I get my flings. But I'm looking forward to it.
Does that mean you're going to be running flings at Three Kingdoms?
Yeah, if I get to play. I mean, I'll probably end up being, unless Jim wants to be, or maybe the two of us will be running it. But yeah, if I have the team in time, then I'll definitely be playing flings at the Three Kingdoms Challenge, which I got to start. We have to start prepping for the pre-event in December, the Road to the Three Kingdoms Challenge. I'm really looking forward to going over to Tampa, and playing at, what's the name of the game store over there? See, this is why I need Ryan. Armada Games. So that's where the tournament's going to be in December, and that's where the tournament is going to be in March. So the only thing that is kind of nagging at me, and it's certainly nobody's fault, just, you kind of make your plans the best you can. But my dream of dreams is getting a bunch of guys and doing the Blood Bowl caravan in an RV from Florida to Oklahoma for Oklahoma and Spiky. And that tournament, I think, is also in March. So I think if Three Kingdoms Challenge is the beginning of March, that other one is at the end of March. I don't know if I could do 2 days in Tampa, and then a 4-day RV road trip to Oklahoma. And I crunched the numbers. So if you were to fly to Oklahoma and then drive to Norman and get a rental car and get a hotel and pay for food and do all that stuff and gas, it actually comes out a little bit cheaper doing it with 10 other guys in an RV and renting an RV and driving all that way. I don't know. It sounds crazy, but I think it'd be fun.
I get the feeling that would be a very sweaty, smelly RV, but probably fun.
Yes, we'll have to do what Nova Open does, like in their swag bags, is they put a stick of deodorant in there.
Oh, that's smart.
Did you see that? I almost shit when I saw that last year. It was the first year I've ever really took notice because Mark Zuckerman, who we've had on the AMA before, he usually goes to Nova every year. And as I found out, apparently, a bunch of guys from your Jacksonville area go. This isn't their first rodeo at Nova. But last year when I was looking, when Mark was trying to talk me into going, I happened to look at their swag, and God, there's a glorious amount of swag for going. It is a lot of stuff you get. But one of the things I noticed, I'm like, is that because they had it all spread out on the table and it looked really cool, and I'm looking at it going, is that a bar of deodorant, a stick of deodorant? I couldn't believe it.
Wow. Yeah, we had 4 guys from the Jacksonville Blood Bowl group go up to Nova Open this year, and it was an interesting experience. Most of them are all actually X-Wing players, so they're used to X-Wing, and they go up there for the X-Wing, and they went up there for both the X-Wing and the Blood Bowl. And I know one of them, Clay, mentioned that was brutal, trying to do X-Wing during the day and Blood Bowl at night, and it wore them down. But,
I bet.
I would love to give that a try sometime, going up there and trying out that convention.
I think next year it might be something that I want to do, but next year's already filling up quite quickly. I have so many different quote unquote things that I'm trying to do or want to do, and one of them is the Year of Fling. Another one is the bucket list. I want to do a Blood Bowl bucket list. And I said to Mark Perry that if he came to Florida for a Blood Bowl tournament, that I would go to Vegas for one of his. So he's coming in February, the same weekend that Ken is running a Friday event and a Saturday event. And the goal was to do Sin City Bowl in Florida on Sunday. But now Mark's plans have changed and he's coming in on Saturday. But I don't think he'd be able to play an 11s tournament. So I don't know what I'm going to do. If I'm going to, sometimes we've had coaches who are very excited about sticking around after 11 and running another variant because you're already there. So why not?
I would totally be up to sticking around after the 11s on Saturday and doing I'll be honest, that Sunday event, I was torn about being able to go because it would just be brutal the following day at work, having to drive 2 hours from Orlando and then go to work the next day. So I don't know if I was going to be able to make that one. But if you make it Saturday, I'll find a way to make it happen.
I'll have to talk to Ken and see what we can do about the time. My other concern is, and not to kick the coffin or anything like that, seeing as how this conversation has kind of died down somewhat. But I don't know how things are going to be for 2019 in terms of, approving NAF events. Like if we have one already on a Friday, which is not anything unusual, having a Friday event as a precursor to a Saturday event, but then having a variant right after an 11s event, I don't know. In my mind, I look at it like you're just opening the door for more people, because if you can't make the 11s event because you have stuff going on during the day, or someone like you who, you have work Monday and Sunday's a football day, maybe playing after an 11s event for a shorter period of time, 3 hours versus, or 4 hours versus, 9 hours for playing 3 rounds of 11s.
Mm-hmm.
It might be an option.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, even if it's not an NAF event, but I mean, this is a special circumstance where we get to experience something that there's a good chance 90 to 95% of the people in our area are never going to be able to make it out to Vegas for one of these events. I just think it'd be awesome to experience.
Well, that will be the end result if we put it up for NAF sanctioning, and for whatever reason it doesn't get sanctioned, then yeah, we'll probably run it just as an event. Because I mean, how often is Mark going to be here? And it'll be fun to play with, that flavor. And we're going to make the start players available that Our in the Studio has done for Mark over the last, 3 years. But on the flip side of that, I am going to be going out to Vegas for his Sin City Bowl. So Patrick Wynn is actually going out for LVO, which I want to say is in March. And I said to him, I said, you better be at Three Kingdoms Challenge. Because I heard for so long, like when we were talking about running tournaments, he's like, oh, you should really. He was, I mean, as agreeable as Jim Lanier was to bringing that tournament back that he did 15 years ago, it was people like Patrick and Ramsey who talk about it because it was a huge thing here in Florida. So when we would bring up new tournaments, Patrick would be like, you should really do that tournament. And I'm like, it wasn't mine, but it all worked out. So if he misses it, I'm gonna give him a bear hug that he won't forget.
Nice.
But he'd probably like it though. But he won't forget it ever. That's okay. So yeah, there's so much. That's what I mean. Like there's so many things that I want to do in 2019. I want to go to a Canadian tournament, but I'm really holding out for 2020, the year after World Cup, is supposedly when the next Oracle Cup is going to be. And what I've heard through the grapevine is that one, maybe two different entities in Canada may be putting in a strong bid for a Oracle. And if that's the case, then I will be going to Canada. But I would love to build a Florida team to go to Canada to do it because it's a team challenge. It's a 4-man team challenge.
Okay.
So I would love to do Canada in 2020. So Sin City Bowl, I would love to do Oklahoma. Three Kingdoms Challenge is going to be a huge Florida event, 2-day in Tampa. Dungeon Bowl, Solomon Nicely's tournament out in Michigan is one that I want to go to. Rot Cup in Texas is one that's on my bucket list that I like to go to. For those listening, Mark Zuckerman, if you ever have an opportunity up in New York, runs some amazing tournaments. He does 2 a year. The Zeech's Challenge, which I based the variant 3-month event off of, he runs the real deal, and it's a lot of fun. And then he does, God, he's going to kill me. I can't think of the other one. But he does another one at like 6 months away from that one. And that was actually the first Blood Bowl tournament that I'd ever been to, was the one that Mark ran. And I played Chaos, and I got my ass handed to me by a Wood Elf team, and I lost like 5-0. But I learned. Now I only lose 4-0. Gotten better.
That is better.
Yeah, not by much, but I'll take it for what it is. See, for whatever reason, it's something with my Google account. It keeps asking me to sign in. Damn it, Ryan! I screwed him out of the AMA because I messed up everything before. I suck.
Uh,
What can I say? You know what? Maybe he should try a different browser.
Man, I'm trying to get my room for Crucible, and it's trying to give me the room for like 10 days. I do not need the room for 10 days.
Well, based on the amount of drinking that you were talking about, you might need that recovery period.
I might. That is very true. I'm just going to go into a beer coma.
Did you say beard or beer?
Beer.
Well, when you come out of the coma, you'll have a beard.
I might. That's very true.
All right, so let's see. Oh, he's trying a different browser. So yeah, let's talk about Chaos Cup. My prepping is pretty piss poor. I need to pack still. I've talked to so many people already, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm packed already. And I'm like, what the hell? I think I need to upgrade my luggage for my carry-on. I need to do a little bit of work touch-ups on my team still, which isn't good. So yeah, I'm going to run Amazons for the main event. And oh God. And then I'm going to run the same team as Dark Elves for Mark's Sevens event on Friday night. I already started scoping out the deep dish pizza places in and around the hotel. So I'll be super excited about that. I got so much swag to take. So representing the Two Drunk Flings and Friends podcast, I have it on good authority that there is at least one halfling team in Chaos Cup. So whoever that person is, and if there's more than one, they will be getting a nice little swag pack from the Two Drunk Flings and Friends podcast just for playing halflings.
Nice.
So we got to show our flings some fellow love. And then anybody that I play personally is going to get a Two Drunk Flings and Friends podcast swag bag. Then I think there are some plans in effect for anybody who's coming from Florida that any of our opponents are going to get some pretty cool Florida mementos to take home with them. I heard a rumor of some dice, and I did some caps with the last patch artwork that Gary did. So there'll be a lot of stuff, and just from some of the other people I've talked to, like Mark is bringing a bunch of stuff. Sean Hennessy's bringing a bunch of stuff. So it's going to be like a swap meet at a Blood Bowl tournament. It's going to be pretty cool. I'm really excited. This is going to be my first Chaos Cup, and I'm super, super stoked to be going.
That's awesome. I'm looking forward to hearing the updates all weekend.
Yeah, even if I'm losing, mine will still be jovial. If John is losing, there'll be tears coming through the smartphone.
Oh, man. He's never going to live down that Tennessee tournament, is he?
No. Dr. Carnivian's latest video was hilarious with the John reference in that.
It was pretty darn good.
It was good. I look forward to those. Those are hilarious. Those are some of the best, Blood Bowl kind of media marketing stuff that I've seen. They're so well done and they're so entertaining to watch. I think, and I said this to him once or twice before as like a subtle hint, and Gary's done animation as well. I'm actually going to pull that up on YouTube and drop that in the Facebook page so people could check it out. But he does some pretty good stuff. I would love to see the two of them get together and put out like some kind of Blood Bowl, I don't care what it is, like a play where it would be funny. Pug is another one. Dave Mason, he does his 100 Feet Heroes, his Flynn comics. I would love to see them animated because those would be pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool. So I'm taking a look at the comments real quick on our broadcast. It looks like Jason Weaver's talking about Ordo Bowl. Is Ordo Bowl going to be on your list, James?
Ordo Bowl is definitely going to be on my list. Jason, I apologize, but we've talked about it before, and I've seen Ryan.
I'm here.
Right here.
I managed to. What is it? I had to do a hard reset again, and that did it.
That did it. Okay, I figured maybe there was some witchcraft involved, sorcery, but hard reset. Yeah, that does it too. So Jason Weaver was talking about Ordo Bowl, and Ordo Bowl is definitely on my list, and I'll tell you one reason why. One of the things that I like about Mark Perry is how well organized and how slick, he puts his events together. Jason, I feel like even maybe could possibly outdo Mark. Maybe. I don't know. I'm sure I'll catch some shit from Mark about that. But looking at Jason's prep for his tournament, I mean, Ordo Bowl just looked so damn good. I wish I could have made it out to the Pacific Northwest for this one. The miniature Saravan Squid looked amazing. The pitch looked amazing. The cards looked amazing. The dice looked beyond amazing. I don't think there was one facet of that tournament that just wasn't mind-blowing. So, yes, I definitely want to make it out to Ordo Bowl. And also another two on my list is Brian 2's Rocky Mountain Rampage, which is a must attend, and his second tournament that he started running, the Rocky Mountain Ringers Rebellion, I think it is, where you make your own star player. And I've been talking to Mark Perry about that one because I helped him with his star player last year, his Croczilla. And this year he's making another one, and I'm kind of helping him with that as well. So I kind of see what goes on with that tournament, and it looks really cool.
Awesome. Josh, I got your comment that you put in the chat about calling the hotel to reserve for the weekend. I appreciate that. I will definitely do that tomorrow since the website wants me to stay there for 10 days.
Maybe it's hurricane prepping you.
There it is. Even though the hurricane's gone a month before that.
There'll be 5 more. Don't worry. The coast of Africa is out to screw us eternally. It was weird. I was driving to work one morning and I heard the radio announcer, the DJ, who probably knows nothing about like geology or geography or seismology or anything, but he's really like advocating that Africa should destroy the tip or like do something with their geography because he thinks that, and he could be right, maybe from something that he's heard, but he thinks that if they do something about the tip of Africa, it will eliminate. We'll have less hurricanes here in Florida. And I'm just like, wow, that would be like me talking about brain surgery and giving advice on, what doctors should be doing based off of my.
I don't know about that. I'm talking. I've lived in Florida my whole life, and everything I always hear about hurricanes is the water temperature is the biggest deal, and the water temperature is really hot right now. So, and we get a lot of big hurricanes.
But that has nothing to do with global warming.
I'm not taking a political issue here. All I'm saying is what
I was being sarcastic. I'm not taking a political issue either, but it just seems more like a common sense issue. But I don't know. What do I know? I'm just a Blood Bowl player looking to play a year of flings to deflate any potential ego that I might have. What?
I'm no weatherologist.
I'm not an ologist of anything. Cosmologist, toxicologist, anything that ends with ologist. I am none of those. Ophthalmologist. It reminds me of a drinking game, like naming those things that we used to play back when I think all we did was drink. Is we would sit there and come up with like synonyms for like whore. So like we would say like hussy, trollop. And we would just keep going back and forth. And when you'd stump somebody and they couldn't name one, then you'd have to drink. I don't know why that was fun, but it was. I think somebody had a bad breakup. And someone might have said like, oh, she's a real hussy. And someone said, she's a trollop. And then someone said, she's a tramp. She's a vixen. And it just kept going. It was amazing how many words we came up with. Or why I still remember that.
So
because nothing to do with Florida Blood Bowl.
It doesn't. But I was going to ask you about what team are you taking to Chaos Cup?
I was telling Jason, for Chaos Cup, I'm taking Amazons because the last time I played them at Liam's Twickenheim, I couldn't dodge for shit. I couldn't break armor. It was a sad showing. So I'm hoping to do a little bit better in this environment with them. And then for Mark's Friday night sevens, I'm running. It's the same team I brought to Cornwall, that succubus team that I like to use is, all sorts of different teams. So I'm going to run it as Amazons on Saturday and Dark Elves on Friday night.
Okay. I played Amazons that same day at Twickenheim. And I think you and I came in like 12th and 13th or like
it was
11th and 12th. Like I played an entire game at a dodge roll. One successful dodge roll the entire match. So,
and I love those dice, like the dice that Liam did with the white roll. I love them, and I use them. I try to do that. I try to use the tournament organizers' dice at their event as a sign of respect. They put so much thought, effort, money into it. I try to use those dice, but if after like, I don't know, 30 some dice rolls and I realize that the dice are giving me a reach around without the benefit of lube, then I have to move on. But those dice, who I see use them all the time and they work really well for them? I'll give you 3 guesses.
Let's see. I don't know. Josh?
Nope.
No? Ken?
2 more. Nope. 1 more.
Chris.
You got it. Chris Nelson. He uses them all the time, and man, when I see those roses come up, I like,
That's who I played that I didn't make any dodge rolls first.
I played Jason Carter, and I want to say he beat me. I played one of the little kids, their grandfather, Jim. I played him, and he rolled me. And I want to say, I don't even know if I got a draw. I'd have to go back and look, but I don't even know if I got a draw. And I think I went like over might have went 1-2. 1 draw, 2 losses. I don't think I came out totally, because the only tournament that I ever went to and lost every match was 2 now. One was Alan's what was it? The blood one.
Bloody Valentine.
Bloody Valentine. Yeah, I played Cast Pact, and I really had no experience playing Cast Pact before, and I couldn't win a single match. And then it happened again, obviously, when I played Flings as a trial run for Josh's Knuffles Wild event. I did. Wait, was it his event? Yeah, it was. And it was because it was 5 rounds. I lost all 5 rounds. Wait, did I? Yeah. I lost all 5 rounds. Yeah, I did. I gave up. One of them was the Jason, right? You beat me.
Yep.
So that was a good practice run. But I tell you what, I don't think Flings are very effective in 7s.
You would think they would be pretty good in 7s because they don't lose anything. They literally are one of the only teams that get rerolls because of their chef. And their roster doesn't change because they can still have 2 trees and all Flings.
I kept getting screwed by the pitch size. I think if I had more room when I would throw a fling and land, I would be able to land away from tackle zones. I kept getting drifted into tackle zones, and it would make it damn near impossible to land.
I can speak from experience. Flings aren't good in 7s, even when it's stunty 7s. They're terrible. They suck. I hate them.
Yeah, you did not have a good day that day. Good
My
shot.
chef sucked.
So I think 2 tree men, or it would be 2 tree men in like street ball. I think would be brutal because you're going to come into contact with them. But I think playing full on 11s has much more area to work with. I don't know. I'll just put it this way: I don't know the answer now. I have a gut feeling, but I will have an answer for you by the end of 2019 when I'm done playing my year of Flings. I just playing a full year of any race, I think is going to make you a better coach with that race for sure. So yeah, Chaos Cup is this weekend. Then right after the following weekend is Liam's. Is that the next tournament?
Yeah.
Is Liam's Pirates of Knuffle, the Curse of the Double Skulls?
Yep. That weekend we have one on Saturday, which is Liam's, and then one on Sunday, which is the Dungeon 7s in Jacksonville.
That's right. That's going to be hard for me to make it to that one. Only because I'm going to be gone for this whole weekend, and then I would have to be gone for the following weekend. So I've already paid for Liam's and paid for the pitch, and I know I could do that Saturday. But I want to make one of them. You're doing 3, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to make one of them. So I'm really excited for Liam's team event because I bought the Black Scorpion Fantasy Pirates that I'm using for my skeletons. Then I got the Black Scorpion Dark Elf Blitzers that look very much like those pirates that I'm using as my Blitzers. Mm-hmm. Then I bought a Warhammer Fantasy, I don't know what it is, but I'm using it as a ghoul, and I thought it looks like water, kind of like an elemental, and I thought it would look very cool. I got custom bases, like ship planks I got from eBay for my team. And I'm just using. I think I'm throwing in I'm taking 2 whites, 1 ghoul, and 1 mummy for my positionals. So I'm. What's that?
Sounds like a winner. That rule set of his is brutal.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that double skulls thing. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's my thing. It's hard enough to score in 6 turns, like. With Street Brawl in general, like, let alone when you could just fail a block like straight out of the gate and lose a turn like that. That's rough.
Is that event 4 rounds? I gotta look that up. I think it's 4. It would make sense if it was 4 because those rounds are gonna fly.
Well, yeah, especially when you're gonna have 1 turn end immediately.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's gonna be nastified. It is. Take a look here myself.
I'm looking too, but then I got sidetracked with like all the messages that I got.
Nice.
I'm not seeing how many rounds it is.
It is 3.
3. Okay.
Really?
Yep, only 3.
Hmm.
That's going to be a fast tournament. 10 to
It is going to be
6.
fast.
I don't see that making it to 6.
I don't either. About an hour, yeah. 10, 11, 12, 1. Yeah. I wonder if he'd be interested in bumping that to 4 rounds. Or doing it twice. Play 3 rounds. Now let's take a mulligan. Do it again. Either way, I think it's going to be a fun one. So then we have yours on that Sunday, the first of the Dungeon Bowl 7s, right? Dungeon Bowl 7s?
Correct. Yep, it's the exact same rules as the December River City Dungeon Bowl. Basically, everyone's getting 3 warm-ups.
That's a good way to do it.
Where are you getting pitches from for that?
I am printing them from Office Depot. I had one of the commissioners of our local league create a custom dungeon pitch for me, and that's the one I'm going to use, and I'm probably going to rock that for years, because if I got to print out a ton of them, I'm just going to make the most of it.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. That is a very good way to do it. I mean, the alternative is expensive, especially with Dungeon Bowl, like tiles. Whether you buy the molds from like Hearst Arts and you make them, that's time-consuming, expensive, and fragile storage, transportation. There's so many variables with that. I did a foam core one that was laminated, and that was $40 for just one board. So that's not very economical either.
Yeah.
I talked to Jack from Maelstrom about doing. Why can't I think of the material?
Neoprene?
Thank you, neoprene, and even that, is still on the expensive side, and it can't be stitched around the sides, which, from what Jack tells me, people look for that as a perfect finished product. So like he's changed the way he's done like his stuff, where all of his pitches now are stitched all the way around. The slammers and the dice trays are stitched all the way around, and I think he's the only person doing that. So, yeah, Jason, I think you definitely got the right idea.
Yeah, if I wasn't having to do so many pitches, because I'm looking at trying to cap the December event at 36, and if I am fortunate enough to hit 36, that's 18 pitches.
Ooh, baby.
That's going to be a lot.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So let's see. After that, we get into October, and we have the rescheduled Diabolical Pitch Sanguinator, which I was able to attend before, and we had some issues getting the pitches. So Jason, very wisely, in my opinion, decided to run it as a different event where Crazy Charlie jammed up the works of the Diabolical Pitch Sanguinator, and it was Crazy Charlie's Crazy Clown Trauma, I believe, and it was a lot of fun. So the rescheduled Diabolical Pitch Sanguinator is going to be Saturday, October 6th at Get Your Fun On. But I'm going to be in Maryland that weekend, apparently, and I'm not going to be able to attend now. So, which is really poopy.
Yep.
Let's see, after that, we have the big Crucible convention, so we can spend a little bit of time talking about that. 3 Blood Bowl events. Friday is going to be the Street Brawl. Saturday being the big team challenge, the Crucible, which is the Death Bowl event. And then Sunday is going to be Bloodvania Bowl, which is I think that's also what, Dungeon 7s?
Yes, the Sunday one is Dungeon 7s.
Cool. So the mats from Maelstrom look amazing. And believe it or not, they're cheaper than other alternatives. So I didn't want, and this is the same situation as a TO that, you were kind of faced with, and I see other people going through, and I've done it myself, where you want to have enough of these custom pitches, and they're expensive. It's a lot of money up front, and you hope to make your money back. So I think I'm dropping like close to $400 or $500 on these pitches for Crucible, for the Death Bowl. And after this, they're not going to be any more. So they're going to be one of a kind, one time only. And I'm buying one for myself to have. I'm also putting $20 in for the raffle for the puzzle pitch that's from FF Fields that we have. So we kind of showed that here and there and talked about it a little bit. But for anybody who's listening, or will listen to this later, the plan was to do a dry run of the rule set on a Dungeon Bowl pitch and Death Bowl pitch. And we really, with all the just life stuff and Blood Bowl and everything going on, we really couldn't make that happen. So we have this really awesome pitch. And we're going to use it as like the top table kind of pitch for the event. But we're going to put it up for a raffle for anybody for $20, gives you 5 tickets. You'll have a shot to win that pitch. And it is a beautiful puzzle pitch from FF Fields. So I kind of wanted that to be its own thing, but then still do a version of that pitch on the neoprene material from Jacket Maelstrom. So that's what we did. So I think we have 5 pitches from Maelstrom and the 1 puzzle pitch, which gives us 6 pitches times 4. So we have 24 coaches max. And I know we already started listing teams. I'm going to take a quick look and see where we're at, because I think I might have missed one. But we're actually starting to get some people from out of the area now who are talking about coming down for either that weekend or for one of the events. So that makes me very happy when people outside of Florida start talking like, oh my God, I think I can make it down there. Like Jason Weaver.
I see Jason Weaver, yeah.
He's making all 3, which is very cool.
Oh, glutton for punishment.
Well, if you're going to do it, you might as well do it. And he's doing it.
Yep.
He's going to do it.
Apparently, he's going to team up with Ken.
That is what I've heard.
That's what he just commented in the chat.
Oh, he did? Okay,
yeah.
Cool. All right, so let's see. Who do we have so far? I dropped down the wrong one. Yeah, there were some teams that I thought were really cool that I was hoping would be able to get together. But so we have Eric Nyberger and Mark Vaughn. I don't know if they're doing some kind of like Goblin Stunty connection type thing. I don't know.
I thought I heard him talk about doing some type of stunty thing.
That's what I thought. Then we have me and you, Jason and James.
We will crush you.
We're going to crush everyone.
We're going to pump you up.
I think Jason Carter, a.k.a. Voorhees Carnivian, is going to team up with his girlfriend there, Cecilia. I think that'd be pretty cool. Francis, Frank, and Paul, I thought would make a good team because they're buddies. Sky and
Francis and Paul, isn't that his father-in-law?
Yeah, I don't know the relationship, but I know they're always together, like at the blood.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think he's his father-in-law. I might be wrong, but I thought that was his relationship.
My God, I can't even imagine playing Blood Bowl with my father-in-law. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I just stick to drinking beer with mine.
What is it? Hopefully Paul will try to defend his title. He won Street Brawl last year.
Yes, he did, but he edged me out by 1 casualty, and I was playing vampires. So I am bringing that vampire team back for a second go because I know he's going to be playing those dwarves.
I think he will be playing those dwarves, though.
Yes, I think he plays those dwarves at almost every event. Frank usually plays lizards, and Paul usually plays his dwarves. So I'm looking for a rematch. And I'll tell you what, I played. Yes, they are. Yeah, and I played against. Who did I play? Mike Tremarsh, Tree. He played, and this was in Jason's Crazy Charlie's Clown Trauma. He played vampires, and I played Bretonians. So I've watched Cody coach vampires, and I've watched Mike coach vampires, and I thought I was a pretty good vampire coach, but they've done some things that I've never thought of doing before, so I feel like I have a little bit more to draw upon in my repertoire. So I'm gunning for Paul with my vampires, so we'll see what happens. But I was hoping Kai and Sky, because that's an awesome team right there, just because of the names alone. I was hoping they can make it, but both of them can't do it. Don't
we have Alberto and Chris teaming up?
Yeah. Did I not mention them?
No, you didn't mention them at all.
I didn't mention them. So that's another team.
Aren't they the Bash Brothers?
The Bash Brothers, yeah.
Well, one of them's very good at bashing. I have no idea if Chris is going to be able to live up to the bash title. But, John crushes everybody when it comes to casualties.
He does.
Josh and Nick apparently is also teaming up.
Oh, Nick and yep, that's another one. That's a high casualty opportunity right there. I could have sworn there was Tombstone Frank was looking for a partner in Jacksonville to come down. So there might be another Jacksonville team. I was thinking maybe Ken Atkinson and his son Tristan would make a good team, but I haven't heard anything on that front. Alan's still looking for a partner. So Ken found his partner with Jason. There might be some other people too. Oh, Ryan Harbaugh. He's got a buddy, Nick Stanovich, who's from my hometown area. I don't know him, but they've been playing Blood Bowl with each other for a while. So if Nicholas makes his way down here for that weekend, they'll be pairing up as a team. Ryan seemed pretty excited to be playing. So I think we should come close. I mean, what did I say? How many teams could there be maximum? 12 teams. So I think we're going to come close to hitting max. Because, yeah, I forgot to include the Bash Brothers.
And Liam and I are alternates.
That's right. Yep. Did I mention you guys on the post?
I don't know if you mentioned it on the post or not, but I mentioned it.
Well, I'm kind of using that in my own brain to kind of keep track of shit, but I might not have mentioned you guys, so that's another.
Yeah, we're subalternates in case we get an odd number or if someone's partner doesn't show or something like that.
Yeah, your team name could be anything could happen.
Yeah, it's all up in the air. We'll play elves.
Well, originally when Stephen Albrecht still lived here, he was going to be my partner. Before I was very fortunate enough to be able to get Jason as my partner, but we were both thinking of doing a double Nurgle team to put the kibosh on any of those elf passing bullshit things.
Stinky.
Yep. But now I don't know. I can go either way, honestly. I like playing. I can't think of a single team that I could say I don't like playing. I did better with Khorne than I thought I would. I liked Bretonnians. Even though I get crushed, I like playing Halflings. I like playing Goblins. I can't really think of a team that Slan maybe, only because I don't have the practice with them. I don't have the number of matches under my belt, so they'd probably be my least favorite. But I love Nurgle. I even like playing humans, vampires.
How about ogres?
I like playing ogres. I'm nowhere near as good as Josh, obviously, but they're a lot of fun. If you're easily frustrated, they are not the team for you. Just the snotlings get crushed easy. The ogres, could bonehead so easily. You really gotta plan so many moves ahead. Just like the vampires and Khorne, but I don't know. So I don't know. Jason and I are gonna have to do some strategery to figure out how we're gonna do this. But it's gonna be fun. I think that weekend's gonna be a lot of fun.
That's actually what I want to see the most is the combinations of teams that people take. To see do people take a bash team and a dash team? Do they take two flex teams? Do they do something like you were talking about? Like we'll just double down on Nurgle and just really play into that tar pit, kind of mentality. Like
there were a lot of good questions as to what can you do, with a teammate? Can you share resources? Can you assist with blocks? The assisting with the blocks, I feel, is going to be a no-brainer. You should definitely be able to do that.
Within the rules, even in the base rules, your opponents can assist you with a block normally if they choose to. So you can get assists from other teams if they allow you to have it, which I don't know why your partner would ever not allow you to have it.
So I talked to so up in Canada, Death Bowl's a big thing. I mean, they've been running that for I think 7 years. And one of the guys who runs it up there, let me see if I can find the conversation that we had. But I asked him for his advice on running it and what he thought. And he gave me some pretty good advice.
Well, the one thing I was mentioning in attempt number 1 was that people need to be very aware that we will be very time conscious.
Yes.
For this. and I was suggesting that we might have people pull out a chess clock app on their phone and use, because a lot of times we have time, but we end up being like, but with this event, we really can't. The matches are too long.
They are. So his advice was to play 1 versus 1. So we're running this as a team challenge. He thought that running it with no teams would be the best and smoothest way to do it. So we're actually, we submitted this for NAF sanctioning. We got it sanctioned. It is a team event. Historically, from what he says here, for ranking purposes, it has historically been ranked as a game versus the guy sitting opposite you. So that's kind of out the window. Alliance is quite frowned upon, but happens anyway. Well, we're going to be aligning ourselves with a partner. Assist, they tested with a few different versions. They let people decide if they want to help the block, blah, blah, blah. We became better social players. Not on your team, stop you assisting. I like the idea of being able to assist. That's going to be real ugly with dwarves and guard. Can you imagine 2 dwarf teams with guard assisting each other with blocks? Oh, my God.
That'd be a little rough. But they would move very slow.
Yeah. And there's not they have to drive down the pitch to score, and then the ball comes back in the middle. Then they got to drive their way all the way back to the middle.
I don't think dwarves are going to do too well in Death Bowl. At least 2 dwarf teams.
Yeah, I don't think 2 dwarf teams. If you did like a dwarf Skaven combo, that could work. The dwarves are just going to hold the middle and bash, just hold
like
the
a wedge. Hold the door,
and then just let the Skaven run wild.
I don't want to see that porn. Skaven run wild. Just too many tails, too much hair. Ugh. Let's see. So, I think that's going to be a very fun weekend. I'm still working on getting together. So the way I wanted to do the swag, and I think everything's going to work out fine, where any of the Blood Bowl players who attend any of the tournaments are gonna walk away with a swag pack without having to pay for it. So there is the opportunity to buy a Crucible swag pack. So this is kind of a new territory for us. We for the majority of us, I'll say, because you got your Jacksonville crew who go to Nova, so they kind of get the idea of what a convention entails and how much it could cost. But this, for the most part, for most people, this is kind of a new thing where, you're paying $35 just to walk in the door to be able to, spend time at Crucible at the convention and be able to play different games and do different things. Then you're paying $10 on top of it to participate in each of the Blood Bowl. If you're doing all 3, it's $25. So you're already paying $60 to walk in the door basically and play in the tournaments. So then if you want swag, like dice and whatever else they're offering, then it's another, I forget what it is, $20. And then they have a t-shirt for $25. So, you're already pushing $100. So I really, in my brain, I really wanted to, and I always have Ryan in the back of my head going, swag again.
Yes.
But I really wanted, seeing as how people are really shelling out some money to come support Blood Bowl and attend this convention, I thought it would be good to have them walk away with a nice set of swag. So I'm sure everybody's seen my billions of posts, and I'm going to ramp it up again as we get closer, after Chaos Cup weekend. But it was not feasible to do dice for all 3 tournaments, so we kind of modeled the custom figure from Arna's studio, the Pumpkinhead model, the big guy, as kind of like it mirrors Crucible 7's pumpkin motif, and we did that with a set of dice from Akero and caps, and then we did a set of caps for each of the other 3 events, and a poster to tie it all in together. So I think that's a nice swag pack, and I've actually sold quite a few of them already to people who can't make it to the tournament to help fund the swag for everybody. So it's kind of going over pretty good. And I don't think there'll be any issues with, I thought for a little bit I might have to ask people to chip in like $5 for that swag, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's all going to work out.
And the cost, I'm thinking, it's not terrible when you look at it. It's $60 for the Blood Bowl weekend. I'm thinking if you do the 25 and the 35 to walk in the door. That's $20 a day. That's $20 a tournament. That's not off.
No, it's not. It's not. It's just all at once, and it's just a little different from how we normally do it. But I think overall, I think we'll have a good turnout. In my head, I'm expecting, on a good note, I'm thinking 12, 16, and 12. So if we hit those numbers, if we surpass those numbers, I think it'll be really good. But that's at least what I'm looking for. Minimum 12 players on Friday, 12 players on Sunday, and 16 players on Saturday. I think that would be good.
I think we're gonna. I think we get. I think I had 12 last year. At least I think I had more than 12 last year, and that was kind of a last-minute hodgepodge. That
because
was
of the hurricane.
The hurricane hit last year. The tournament got canceled, and it was like, well, why don't we just move it to Crucible? And it was very kind of last-minute hodgepodgey. And I still think we had that kind of a turnout. So I think we'll be doing pretty good this year.
I would agree. Yeah, I think so. What else did I want to say about that? So right after that weekend, I want to say 2 weeks after that is going to be Oktoberfest. And with all the stuff that I'm putting into Crucible, it probably won't have as much stuff as last year, but I think it'll have some quality stuff. I'm looking to have I think I'm doing shot glasses. People love the drinkware. I think the glasses that I did, like for the last one back in Wilkes-Barre, went over really well. The glasses that I did for Christmas with Cthulhu were very popular, that people liked them. I think shot glasses would be cool for this year. So I'm looking to do those, dice, caps, and maybe one other thing. But the rule set's kind of unique, and I think we're going to see a lot of orc teams. This isn't like Stunty Slam where it's highly recommended that you play Stunty. With this, you can only really play orcs or goblins to kind of fit that mold. So as much as I would love to see everybody kind of stick with the theme, I'm not going to be surprised if I see somebody show up with dwarves. And then that'll be kind of funny because I would love to see all the orc coaches just, bust their balls the entire day. Even though that's generally frowned upon, I don't think so. I think it's funny.
I'm saving my orc play for that tournament. Probably going to do garbage, but I'm looking forward to it.
Same. I did my first Oktoberfest. I played orcs, and I had a poor showing. I was playing against another orc team in round one, and I was up, and I thought I was going to win and start off with a good day. And then he came back and beat me in the second half, and I'm like, shit. Then who did I play second round? I can't remember. And I don't know which way it went, but I know who I played in the third round. One of our local league guys, he had friends from out in Pittsburgh, and they drove from Pittsburgh to Wilkes-Barre, like 6-7 hour drive to play in our tournament. And the one girl, she's a school teacher, and I remember these little details. And she played Skaven, and I'm thinking, oh crap, I really hate Skaven. And she ran circles around me, and I want to say she beat me like 5-1, but it wasn't that so much because I'm used to getting pounded by wood elves. She was doing like play-by-play commentary and cheering for herself during the match, which was like, looking back at it was quite hilarious. But at the time, I wanted to like do something unmentionable. It was but I held it in. I thought, all right, be a good sport. She's having fun. Be a good sport. Yeah. So she totally, ripped me apart, and her commentary was. I wish that match could have been recorded so I could watch it now, because I probably pissed myself laughing. But at the time, it was like, I just wanna do something. I don't know what, just something bad. But yeah, I'm looking forward to playing orcs. I'm looking to redeem myself with orcs for that event. I'm looking to redeem myself with Amazon at Chaos Cup. That's probably something I'm going to do before I start playing my flings, is like take some of the worst teams that I've done with, like the Chaos Pact and the Amazon, and like play them again and do better. Try and get that team rating up over 150. So there's a lot of stuff in October. A lot of stuff we haven't even gotten to November yet. Holy shit.
Yeah, the end of the year is pretty packed.
Yeah.
It is, and I don't want to kind of really talk about this ad nauseum, but I do believe that 2019 is going to be different. One of the things that Ryan and I talked about in the very beginning with the tournament series, with having it be open ended, was kind of letting people go willy nilly and do what they want to do, just to kind of see how it ends up and use it as a test for next year. And I think everybody could agree, which is kind of why we stopped adding new voodoo events for the rest of the year, is that, we've hit, and as proud as I am that we've hit, 40 some tournaments in a single year for the state. I'm very proud of that. I think we all kind of realize that we need to give our fellow TOs a little bit more breathing room in terms of scheduling events, or working together, running them together, doing things a little bit different. And I think everybody's on board with that. I really didn't feel any resistance from anybody. I think everybody's got a good head on their shoulders and is looking forward to doing things in 2019 a little bit different.
Yeah, I think, and like I said, I think my whole thing has been the market will dictate, what people want to do. And I think the market's starting to have its, like, the bubble has burst, I believe. And I think that,
not in a bad way though. Like there was some concern about, it blowing, that bubble bursting so hard that it would swallow Blood Bowl in this area. We would go back to having, a black hole. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think there's so many of us, and those connections have been made now where people are willing to go to Jacksonville or go to Tampa or go to Jensen or go to Gainesville for a tournament. I think people like to travel to the events. I think we're going to still continue to have good turnouts next year. I think, if anything, people kind of are getting a better sense on how to run a better tournament. And that doesn't necessarily mean swag. That can mean rule set. That can mean venue. That can mean so many different things. But I think the quality of the tournaments are going to be better. I think we're still going to have a high number of tournaments. I wouldn't be surprised if we still had 20 to 30 tournaments next year. So.
Oh yeah, I think we'll be hitting that. I think that. I still don't think that will be an issue.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to coming out to Tampa for a couple of reasons. One is I found out that a buddy of mine who moved to Florida and was up in Jacksonville. And then when I'm like, oh, dude, you're in Jacksonville. We play this game called Blood Bowl. He's like, oh, dude, I played Blood Bowl for years. I'm like, what? He's like, oh, yeah, I used to play in leagues and this and that. He's like, but I'm not in Jacksonville anymore. I'm like, no. I'm like, where are you? And then he's south of Tampa. So him and his wife, they operate a veterinary clinic, and they work like 6-7 days a week. But I'm slowly sending him messages every couple of weeks being like, man, it'd be really cool to see you in Tampa to play some Blood Bowl. So it'll be good if it can come out. I haven't seen him in years, but it'll be a lot of fun to have him up there and play in a tournament. It'll be a good way to spend the day and catch up.
Yeah, I'm talking. That's like the perfect opportunity.
Mm-hmm. And I'm looking forward to a 2-day in Tampa, going out at night, having some fun, hanging out, bullshitting. That's going to be fun.
Plenty of places to go out around here.
I'm looking forward to doing that in the beginning of November for Clay's tournament. Because that's going to be, we recorded a new episode for the Two Drunk Flings and Friends podcast on Saturday. And they were talking about their tournaments and how they they have like alcohol in the morning, like hard cider with their breakfast beer. I don't know what they have, but being pissed drunk all day while they're playing Blood Bowl and then drinking themselves sober and this and that. I'm like, that's really like, we don't have nowhere near the level of alcohol consumption at Blood Bowl events the way you guys do over there. I said, but we do have this one event coming up in November that's going to change that. So I am definitely looking forward to Clay's event in November, which is, I'm looking it up right now only so that I don't get it wrong.
The Ancient City Barrel Bash.
Thank you. Yeah, I was just about to click on it. Yeah, we have two actually that are a week apart. One is Clay's Ancient City Barrel Bash, which is going to be in St. Augustine in a brewery. And that was one of the questions the guys from the podcast were asking. They're like, well, do you guys play in pubs? I'm like, not really. I said, we kind of play in, I've used this term FLGS, and I see it a lot, and I get it. And then when I say it, I always get somebody who's like, what the hell's an FLGS? I'm like, yeah. You guys know what an FLGS is?
Yeah.
Friendly local gaming store?
Yeah. And I swear to God, I always get somebody, like, and I'm like, yo, I said, yeah, I'm going to go to my FLGS. Like, somebody from the UK asked me, I guess they were, for whatever reason, having a hard time getting a copy of this month's White Dwarf. And there are some Blood Bowl Blitz Bowl cards in there. So I'm always willing to help anybody in the Blood Bowl community. And this dude asked me, he's like, could you buy a copy of the magazine? He thought there were rules in there. And he's like, could you take the pictures for me? And I'm like, yeah, man, I don't, whatever. Either he couldn't get it or didn't want to buy it. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then I realized there's nothing in there other than the cards. And he wanted the cards. So I ended up shipping him the cards today. I'm happy reading through the magazine. But point being is that, I'm willing to help anybody with whatever. But there was a whole point before that. We're playing in pubs. Oh, FLGS. I said, yeah. I said, I went to my first FLGS. He's like, what's that? And I'm like, from your local game store. I felt stupid. Like, I thought everybody knew that. So then I went to a second one and they had it. But anyway, he was a happy dude. So yeah, November, 2 events. One is definitely going to have a lot of alcohol, Ancient City Barrel Bash. There are designated drivers for this event who are going to be rewarded with something for being a designated driver, from what I understand. And then there's a bunch of us who are getting a hotel room because of the amount of alcohol. I think part of your swag is you get your first beers on the house.
Yeah, there's going to be, I don't know if it's the first one or it's the one during the award ceremony, but you get a beer on the house.
And that's going to be awesome. So that's in St. Augustine, and that is Saturday, November 3rd. And then a week later, and it's kind of funny because the poster just got unveiled for this today in the official group chat. Once again, artwork done by the amazing and talented Gary Radziak. It is Florida Man's Red Solo Cup Blood Bowl tournament, and I don't even know what to say about this. It's from the deranged. I mean, I thought Dr. Carnivian had a deranged mind, and he does. But Chris, I think, really kind of, vacuumed the corners of his brain to come up with the rule set for this tournament. And it got approved, relatively quick. I was stunned with how fast it got approved. So there are some star players that are all based off of Florida Man. There's stuff about bath salts. There's stuff about nudity. There's stuff about wrestling crocodiles. It's crazy, man. This tournament is going to be crazy, but I'm liking everything that I've seen for it. The poster, the dice, the pitch, from what I hear Jack is working on for Maelstrom, is going to be quite impressive. So those are going to be 2 fun tournaments back to back. And this is the other thing too, like with all the tournaments that we have in Florida and for next year is, and this is what I was saying before in terms of like the quality of the tournaments. I think this year there was, or even maybe not even for Florida, but just in places where there's multiple Blood Bowl tournaments, is you go because you don't know what the next one might be like, so you're kind of going to all of them. I feel like looking at all these, and it's like you can choose now. Like you could pick and choose. You can go to all of them, or you can go to one that's like, yeah, I really like this theme, I'm going to go to this one, or I think this one would really suit me. Or there's so much to choose from where if this weekend didn't work, there's at least something next weekend. I don't know. I just feel like there's at least options, and that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I get what you're saying on that.
And I like that. It gives me peace of mind. I think about that as I lay my head on my pillow at night, and I think Florida has options. And then I drift off into a peaceful slumber until I wake up and have to pee 3 times because I'm 42. So that's a whole other thing, though. Does anyone know who Greg Davies is? He's a comedian.
Nope.
If you've ever seen The In-Betweeners.
Oh, yeah. The principal.
The principal. Yeah, he was a teacher, and then he became a comedian. So he has a Netflix special called, I think it's You Magnificent Beast. And he talks about age and the shit that happens to you. And he's talking to some dude in the audience at random, and he's like, how old are you? He's like, 45. He's like, you get up and you pee twice in the middle of the night, don't you? He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm up to 3 times. And just, I don't know. If you have 2 hours to kill, watch it. It is so funny, and I'm sure Ryan, I'm sure you'd appreciate it being a teacher. Like
He's also got another show on Netflix right now called Man Down.
yes, and I have to get into that. I keep forgetting about it, but I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, he's a teacher in that too. So.
Oh my god, he's so damn funny.
Yeah,
He's
Man
so
Down's
damn
pretty
funny.
good.
If I had a on my bucket list of things to do, let's just say it was the end of the world tomorrow, and somebody came up to me and said you can pick 2 people to hang out with. They could be celebrities, and you can go to a bar and drink all the alcohol you want. I would want to go with him and Patton Oswalt. I think that would be a fucking awesome night.
Yeah, they're pretty good choices. I think In-Betweeners. I think it was Liam got me into In-Betweeners, I believe, because I think he posted like a clip of it, and it was Greg Davies, all his bits basically from In-Betweeners as the vice principal or whatever, just kind of ripping into the students. And I was cracking up because I'm like, some of this stuff's really true.
Oh, it is. That might have been me who posted that because I occasionally I'm always posting.
What show is this?
They made a US version and it was so bad. It was so shit bad. Can't beat the original. It's so good.
Yeah, and then my wife and I devoured all of it, plus the movies and everything like that, in about a week.
Yeah, oh yeah, I forgot about the movies. There were 2 of them, weren't there?
Yeah.
They're so good. So let's see what else we got coming up. So let's finish out the year. So it looks like in November 17th. So that's October for you. No, that's November. Ancient City Barrel Bash November 3rd. Florida Man's Red Solo Cup November 10th. And then this one's like the dark horse of the mix, and it's flying under the radar. And I don't know anything about it. And for me, that's unusual because I kind of have a little bit to do with a little bit of everything, but I know nothing about Drop Site Bowl at all, other than the fact that I think Ken is running it, and it's at a new venue, Drop Site Games in Orlando. And I've heard good things, but I know nothing about this whatsoever.
Neither do I.
So you know what? Let's click on the link and let's learn about this. Drop Site Games in Orlando, hosted by Ken. Saturday, November 17th. I am looking at this. Seems like it is going to be a full-on 11s, standard 11s event. Rule pack posted soon. Okay, so we don't know what the rules are. Well, that's not right. Rule set coming soon. NAF is approved. That's not possible. So, all right. He's already punking us here. Maybe I missed something. Let's see.
He has the rule set. He just doesn't want to give them to the public yet.
No, there it is. Okay. Coach is 1,200 team build. There, standard skills. It looks like stuff. 3 rounds. Okay. It just looks like a standard Blood Bowl event. Nothing out of the ordinary yet. It's just going to be at a new venue. Ken says it's going to be voodoo. Chris says it's going to be nice. I feel like a stalker reading their words. Ken says it's going to be voodoo, and Chris says it's going to be nice. And say it just like that.
Hey guys, I'm gonna need to jump off here.
Oh, why? Because it's 11 o'clock? Holy shit!
Yeah.
I can't believe it's 11 o'clock.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you later.
Have fun.
Yeah, man.
Bye.
Yep.
Drink beer. Yeah. All right, let's finish out the year really quick. All right, so there's Drop Site Bowl. Also in November is River City Sevens, Dungeon Sevens November, so that's the second one. Then we have December 1st, the Road to the Three Kingdoms Challenge, which that has not been NAF approved yet because we don't have a rule pack. Jim and I need to talk about, what we're going to do, but I have a feeling it is going to be a mix of what was done 15 years ago with some updates for some of the newer stuff that's been put out since 2016. So I think that'll be a pretty solid rule set. I mean, Jim is a walking legend with this stuff, so I don't think there's going to be anything beyond. I just don't know if he's going to want to play or run, or if I'm going to be. I don't know. We'll see. And then also in December, River City Dungeon Bowl. So this is the actual big event, not the warm-ups. So this is the big one where that Jason was talking about. He's doing the first 3 as warm-ups as the prelude to this one.
Right.
And that is on Saturday. What's on a Saturday? December 8th. And I want to say it's somewhere. It's not at Borderlands, which is where Jason tends to run the majority of his events. This one's going to be at Cool Stuff Games in Jacksonville. And I've never been there.
Well, there's tons of cool stuffs all over Florida. I mean, there's a big one in Orlando. There's one right by us in Brandon. Okay. They're big on the internet. I'm talking. They're one of the big board game dealers in like the world.
Okay. And I know we're still trying to plan something for the end of the year where it'll be a small variant event, and I think it's going to be the Christmas with Cthulhu. And Jason and I were talking. Like at first, I was running it, and then he was running it, and I think we're kind of working on it together. But the primary focus for me for that event is going to be the awards ceremony. I would love for it to be like a dinner where we can hang out and drink and bullshit, play a little bit of Blood Bowl. You know, talk. Go ahead.
Start it early and only run 3 rounds and make it like 7s or.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like 7s or Streeple.
Just do a 3-rounder, and that'll be done by early afternoon.
Yep, and then we can keep drinking and eat. And I was thinking about either doing it at the venue where Crucible is. I was talking to the guys who are in Crucible to see if I could talk to the event coordinator at the hotel and possibly reserve a room and have it there. So this way, you know, we'd have the room to ourselves. We'd be able to have food from there, play our event, do our awards. There was talk about doing it at like maybe one of the a VFW or something like that over in Beachside, something to do with Josh knows somebody there. Obviously, I'd like to keep costs down if possible to have more money towards prizes and awards, trophies, whatever we're going to do. I think that would be cooler than, you know, blowing all the money on a fancy room or a fancy dinner, although I still would like to have something. I don't know. Either way, there's a lot to kind of work out, and there's still time. I mean, it's only September, so I just don't want to let it go until November and then be scrambling to do something. So, you know, while I'm on that subject, part of the thing that's going to be able to fund that is when you run an event and it's a voodoo event, you know, we're asking the tournament organizers to kick in the $10 to be included in this. And there's been some instances where people have paid long before the event, the TOs. And then there were ones where, you know, Ryan or myself have had to chase people down and ask them and say, hey, are you doing this? And, you know, we don't want to do that. I'm sure you don't want us doing that. And just, you know, think of the end of the year. It's kind of contributing to something that's going to be beneficial towards everybody and a lot of fun. And, you know, we want to recognize, even though the Voodoo Tournament Series is comprised of how many states, 6, 7 states. Obviously, Florida this year is having the bulk of the tournaments. We still want to recognize all the other states and their achievements, whether it be, you know, in tournaments or those guys coming to some of our events. So, bottom line, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm talking when you're chipping in for the greater good.
Yes, and everyone will be very thankful for it. So,
and as the treasurer, if anyone's actually listening to this, the one thing I'm not doing is accepting money for 2019 events yet. I don't want the pools to get kind of mixed. So I'm not going to accept 2019 money till 2019.
So the pitch for Crucible for the Death Bowl, that puzzle pitch, that was actually paid for by the Voodoo Tournament Series Treasury, Ryan. So when we buy those tickets to win that pitch, the money that we spent on the pitch and whatever money is going to go back into the pool, and whatever money we raise beyond what it costs to purchase that pitch is going to go towards the money left over at the end of the year to do these fun things. So I encourage you, you know, for $20, 5 tickets, to get that pitch at $20 is a hell of a steal, which is why I'm buying a neoprene one and I'm throwing in $20 to have a shot at that pitch. You know, I highly encourage you to get some raffle tickets and put it in. You know, obviously we want to make our money back. We want to see somebody win that pitch and walk away with it as a prize. And, you know, we want to make some coin off of it so that we can put more money from that raffle back into the pool for the end of the year. So if you weren't considering it, please consider it. It's $20 for 5 tickets. Go crazy. Spend $40, get 10 tickets, whatever you want to do. But it's even if you did that at $40, that's a hell of a steal. That pitch is over $100 and some dollars. Yeah. And with it, you get the Dice Cup Slammer as well. And I believe they also sent me a set of skill rings to go with that pitch. So that'll be included as well. And if you're interested, you can be marked down to purchase one of the, how many did I say? 5 neoprene pitches for Death Bowl that were done by Jack at Maelstrom. I bought one, so there's going to be 4 left. I put it out to the Blood Bowl community, so it's going to be first come, first serve once the event is over, because we need those pitches, obviously, for the event. But once the event is over, they will be readily available to anybody in attendance or the Blood Bowl community at large. I have to go back and double check the price, but it's on the event page if you go and look. But I want to say I was asking like $90 for that pitch, which is
I think it was 80.
80, yeah, whatever it was. It was.
I think I messaged you saying, "Are you serious with 80? Because that's such a good deal."
Yeah, and at that point for the pitches, I mean, we're not looking to make any money off of them. We're just looking to break even, just so that we have them for the tournament, and that somebody could get that pitch at such a great deal, and potentially use it for their own league or their own tournament. Jack does an amazing job, and those pitches are fantastic. And at the price that we're asking, it's a hell of a steal. So, if you haven't considered it, consider that as well. But they will be there. I'm going to be picking those up from Jack at Chaos Cup this weekend and bringing them home so they don't have to be shipped. So if you purchase a dice tray or a slammer, I'll be picking those up as well, and those will be available for you at Crucible. So,
yeah, and I'm talking, we've already invested a little bit of cash into prizes towards the end of the year. So that's good. We got one thing that's really nice. We're kind of keeping it under our hats, but it's a very nice thing.
Oh, it's a very nice thing. I think there'll be a lot of people out there who will be appreciative of the fact that we did that. Okay, well, we kind of got back to basics, even though we had some technical problems, which were my fault. But for those of you who stuck with us, waiting that hour, 45 minutes to an hour before we're able to get this back up again, I'm probably going to delete the other one and post this one on the YouTube page for future listeners. But yeah, thanks for sticking with us and listening to Florida Blood Bowl AMA number 8. So this is James in Vieira.
Ryan over in Tampa.
And we had Jason with us from Jacksonville. And I guess the next one will probably be sometime in October. Maybe we'll do one probably before the Crucible weekend.
Yeah, that would probably be good.
Awesome. All right, well, look forward to seeing y'all at the next tournament. Ryan, have a good evening, and I will talk to you soon.
All right, talk to you later.
All right, man.
Bye.